my lab has a history and expertise in working with grasses. That makes sense because they produce most of the world's food. And my research is all questions that are either worldwide or targeted on Africa. So the grasses, the grains, the cereals, as they're also called, are the major sources of food, and there are some minor underutilized grasses in Africa. They're very resistant to stress. They have to be to survive in Africa. They often do well without hardly any fertilizer because the people there don't often have the funds to pay for fertilizer. So they're relatively high yielding under very bad conditions. And so we think we can improve them dramatically. And we know before we show up in Africa which crops have the potential to be dramatically improved with the kind of technology that we've mastered. There's no alternative to getting higher yields over less acreage. We're not going to bring more land into productivity. The land just isn't there. And of course we need this land for preservation purposes as well. I'd like to double yield in any field, farmer's field, so that means we won't have to take more land, more natural lands, and convert it into agricultural uses. So that's one of the major arguments for improving agriculture, is so that we do not need to farm as much land in the future. That's certainly a goal that a lot of us share. One of the fascinating things about working on plants is the way they deal with the environment. It gets hot, it gets cold, the wind blows, the rain falls down. All this an organism has to respond to. And animals came up with a very brilliant way of dealing with it, and that is mobility. Plants don't have mobility. That wasn't a strategy they came up with. So when they have to deal with a change in the environment, they have to sit there and take it. And the way they do this is by organic chemistry. They make huge numbers of compounds, different compounds that provide them ability to deal with stress of heat, of cold, keeps their cells from freezing, compounds that defeat insect pathogens or pests or microbial pathogens. So plants make all sorts of different compounds for dealing with the stresses in the environment. And for that reason, they have very sophisticated biochemical pathways. A lot of what we call secondary products are produced. And companies, and the medical industry in particular, has found a lot of these compounds are really quite useful. In plants, when you're studying how they deal with the world, you're dealing with a number of different systems: physiological, biochemical, organic chemistry, architectural, plant architectural. It's just very complicated set of systems. Complication's interesting, right? So it's something guarantees we have lots to investigate. What I like best about doing this research is the people I work with. My colleagues, my students, these people are smart, they're creative, and they're really dedicated. You know, if you want to become rich and famous, you don't go into academics, and you certainly don't go into plant science. So people do this work because they want to make the world a better place. And it's really a great honor to work with these folks, these colleagues, who are just such admirable people at every level. The low-hanging fruit, as they say, has been harvested. So all the improvements we're making now are challenging ones. But we've got the technology and the dedicated people that we think can pull it off if they're given sufficient support.